Eagles. Eagles.
And welcome in, everybody, to a Christmas Eve edition of Birds 365 here in JAKIB Sports. How's everybody doing this morning? Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I hope everybody has an awesome holiday week. All right, we will have no shows tomorrow on Christmas and an abbreviated show today. Just a quick hour for you. Johnny Mac, how you doing on this Christmas Eve, brother?
Gearing up for the big day of awful football, by the way. Yeah, awful football. Backup, third string quarterbacks. But let's play 18 games. Let's do it. Let's add an extra game.
Yeah, it's no good, John. No good. Let's see what happens. I don't know how much I'll be tuned in, John. I'm thinking, when you work in football or you work in this industry, these holidays feel a little different to us than they do to most. But I might try and kick my feet up and not turn much football on because I don't feel as though I'll be missing too much, J-Mac.
I don't think you will be missing too much, yeah. I'm not going to criticize people who don't watch football on Christmas. I think it's silly that what they've done. Now, if it lands on the right day of the calendar, but last year, it was Wednesday and they're having come on, what are we doing? What are we doing? So, but that's the NFL, and Netflix is willing to ante up some significant money, and now Amazon's involved. And hey, maybe they'll rethink it from their end because, and then, another thing. I'll start early with my pet peeves. I got two of them today, but
oh, nice, a little Christmas Eve pet peeve.
This highlights Christmas Day highlights why the schedule release, which is also a waste of time, is such a blown up nothing. Like we're all sitting there and we all do it, and you have to do it. That's a win. That's a win. That's a loss game. I mean, what can you project that Josh Johnson might be playing in week 17 or Max Roseman might be playing? It's such a waste of time. And it's like,
John, you woke up on Christmas Eve and said, I'm going to be a curmudgeon on the schedule release.
And that's what people say. And I that's all right. I got three pet peeves. Like, that's a curmudgeon from pointing out the silliness of people. And they'll go right back and they'll say, oh, it's so exciting. What a game. What a matchup. What a game. What, this is phenomenal. It's not being a curmudgeon to point out that people never learn from their mistakes.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think, John, remember, this is a hobby for a lot of people. It is that, you know what I mean? So they like to have a little fun. I'm not saying you're wrong that it's foolish.
I think the fun argument. I hear the fun. Oh, you're not letting have people fun. Come on. That's bullshit. That's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing. They're not having fun. That's just moving the goalposts.
All right, so schedule release is your pet peeve number
actually
one.
That came out of nowhere just from the bringing up how sad the game.
Your pet peeve number two is me calling you a curmudgeon for calling out the stupid.
Well, that was in the moment. Okay. Pet peeve number two. Pet peeve number three, courtesy of Vic Fangio, the Pro Bowl. Boy. What an abject mess that thing is. Now, I've long advocated get rid of the game, keep the honor. They've finally done that because the Pro Bowl game was just an abysmal waste of time. But football's not a sport that lends itself to an all-star environment because you can get hurt playing football. So, you don't want guys out there even, and you can get hurt doing anything, but you get the point. Baseball, basketball, it's much less likely.
It's a very physical game.
So it just doesn't lend itself. So that part's a positive. But I mean, and I'll use Vic's quote. He was asked about Jordan Davis getting snubbed. Ironically, he got snubbed for his teammate who doesn't deserve to be there.
Yeah, right.
Because the other two guys deserve to be there. Although you can argue Quinnen Williams did most of his work with the Jets, but phenomenal player. Leonard Williams having a great year. Those are the other two guys, plus Jalen Carter. Jordan Davis should have made the Pro Bowl, but he should have made the Pro Bowl over Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. But, Vic talking about it, should have for sure, talking about Jordan. Then he went into, I think they need to perform a committee for the Pro Bowl, get a couple retired coaches, couple retired personnel guys, couple retired players that will take pride in it, take pride in naming the players. And, everybody. And then he said, everybody and their mother's got to vote now. And it's a shit show. I mean, no offense to Cam Jurgens, great guy. I love you, Cam. But Cam Jurgens is in the Pro Bowl. Jalen Carter's in the Pro Bowl. Joe Alt played 6 games. He's in the Pro Bowl.
It's
great player.
So do you agree with this, though? Because, I think a lot of fans conflate what you're saying with that. They think the Pro Bowl doesn't matter because the voting system is flawed and silly and not correct. But it does matter for these guys, right? Like you could see Jordan Davis.
It matters, and that's where the NFL, the fact that they
contract escalators, all sorts of
the fact that they put contract escalators on this nonsense, like why do they do that? That's an unforced error. Use Pro Bowls, use something more legitimate. Now that's not perfect either. I'm not saying that's perfect, but that's exactly what Vic is asking for, because there are players, retired players, not personnel guys, but I think there's 1 or 2 coaches, but I'd have to look. But there are retired players who vote, and there are, very few media people who vote who are generally serious about it. And it's a much better, and it's already regarded as a much bigger honor, but the fact that they use Pro Bowls as escalators, I mean, that's just silly.
Well, if you're going to use that, then Vic's approach makes complete 100% sense.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you delegitimize the process, but legitimize the results for players in a very tangible, real way? I mean, Jalen Carter, I know you're right. Jordan Davis is upset because Jalen Carter snubbed him. Jalen Carter slept good last night. His escalator for his 5th-year option went up to $25 million.
Well, and by the way, I'm not saying Jordan Davis is upset at Jalen Carter.
No, he's not.
I'm just saying if you're gonna take one guy out, you have to take Jalen Carter out, and you would have to put Jordan Davis in. So, but it's a lot of it's reputation based, and obviously Jalen already has the big reputation, deservedly so. You see it more with older players, offensive line. You see it a lot. It's ironic because Lane didn't make it because he's missed a bunch of games, but Joe Alt made it because
Joe Alt, who plays 6 games and doesn't have the pedigree of Lane Johnson.
But at the NFC's better at tackle. So in the NFC, you had Williams, you have Trent Williams, who's big reputation guy, but also having a great year. You have Wirfs, big reputation guy, who's also having a big year. And I forget the third one, but Penei Sewell, which is the NFC's loaded. At tackle. So that speaks, and you don't differentiate, you only pick 3. So both Lane and Jordan have bigger reputations than Cam, but look at the tackles on the NFC side. So part of it works in that aspect of it. And look at the difference between the AFC quarterbacks and the NFC quarterbacks, by the way. It's unbelievable. But anyway, the Pro Bowl is. But the fact that's tied, you're right.
The AFC quarterbacks were who? Stafford, Darnold, and who?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But Stafford's the only one where you go, all right, that guy's really good. It's Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Drake May on the AFC side. On the NFC side, it's Stafford, Sam Darnold, Dak Prescott. Dak's good, but and by the way, they picked the right guys. I'm not.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't see another NFC quarterback who probably.
It's just the AFC quarterbacks are better. That's all. That's what I meant. Same with tackles at each position. Like at tackle, it's Garrett Bowles, Deion Dawkins, good players. Joe Alt, Deion Dawkins, obviously on Buffalo as the Eagles get ready to play him. Good players, but the NFC side, Trent Williams, Tristan Wirfs, Penei Sewell. I mean, different, and the wide receivers on the NFC side, Puka, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, George Pickens, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Versus the receivers on the AFC side, which Jamar Chase is phenomenal. Nico Collins, Zay Flowers, Cortland Sutton, all good players, but I mean, come on. So you see the difference and the strengths of the conferences, and most everybody's on this list is a really good player. So it's like when you're only picking that number of players, you're going to get a bunch of good players, and you can pick and choose. And there are certain guys who, get screwed every year. But the fact that the way they do it, I mean, and guys get escalators off this. Woof.
All right, I'm with you on this. I'm with you on this pet peeve. I mean, I like the Pro Bowl. I don't care for the game. I'm more with you. I don't care for the game at all. But I do like the award. But it just seems to me it doesn't. I don't get how you attach so many contract incentives and things to it. I mean, there's also $500,000 bonuses in there, John, for making the Pro Bowl.
I know it's absurd.
So I don't know how you attach such tangible things to it and then not, put the voting
and then take it more seriously.
Yeah, and any Joe Schmo.
No offense, but if you're putting that much import on it, fans should not be voting, have any impact on this.
I agree completely. I think every logical fan would agree too. I mean, that's silly. And by the way, we all think Jordan Davis got snubbed, and hey, he did get snubbed. But somewhere out there in NFC Center is like, man, I got snubbed for Cam Jurgens. He's played terrible this year. So I thought that one was crazy.
Yeah, that's true. Drew Dahlman, and I noticed because it was weird. The Eagles, for the fan voting, the Eagles guys are usually high up on the list because for whatever reason, Eagles fans didn't stuff the ballot box, so to speak, this year. The Chicago people did.
Obviously, one of the bigger fan bases and one of the more passionate fan bases. Yeah.
And the Chicago people really did. And I think that's just, they've been bad for so long and now they're good. I think they're excited, but and it's only 1/3 of the vote of the actual, but 1/3, I mean, is significant. Shouldn't be that way if you're gonna.
I agree.
So anyway, thanks to Vic Fangio, because that was Vic, and he just got to take it more seriously if you're going to treat it seriously.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. John, on the other Pro Bowlers, Zach Bond made it for the Eagles. Jalen Carter, as we talked about. Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean made it. How about that for a DB tandem? And then Cam Jurgens. Those are the 5 Philadelphia Eagles Pro Bowlers. I don't think Jalen Carter or Cam Jurgens should have made the Pro Bowl. I'm happy for them that they did, but I don't necessarily think they were actually the Pro Bowl players this year. The other 3, though, I love. I think really, it's really dope that Quinyon and Cooper got there. John, what a great draft that's turning out, man. What a great, tandem of picks, back-to-back, first and second round. I think it was 22nd and 40th overall. Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, and both of them find themselves on the Pro Bowl. And you could maybe see both of them on the All-Pro. I don't think for Quinyon because it's a tough sled there. There's a lot of great corners. But I think Cooper will make the All-Pro team as well.
Cooper's going to be an All-Pro. I think Quinyon might get second team, but he doesn't have enough interceptions to get first team. I think. I don't.
What do they do? 2 corners per team?
No. Well, yeah, there's 2. It depends on who. If guys are unanimous, there's not. You can go down the 3rd, 4th team. But if you have really strong candidates, obviously the less people are going to get votes. So it depends sort of on what's going on. But corner's a position where Yeah, a bunch of guys will get votes, and I think Quinion will get votes. I just don't think, judging from years past, they put too much value on interceptions. So that's just my feeling on it. The crazy thing about Jordan Davis, though, is that he wasn't even an alternate. They name alternates.
Right.
Second alternate. Jalen Phillips made it, which is big for him. He was barely here, by the way. Again, third was Saquon and Dallas Goedert. Fourth, Keely Ringo is a special teamer. Fifth, Jalen Hurts. Those are the only alternates. Didn't even make it as an alternate, Jordan Davis.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Do you get any? Does being an alternate get you anything?
No, well, just if somebody bows out, you get bumped up and you're on the team.
Yeah, but if you're on the team, is that viewed as like if for example, if there's a contract escalator for somebody that's an alternate, do they hit it by being an alternate, or do you have to get
generally not. Now it's a little bit different in years past. Like everybody would bow out, not play when they played the game. Now they don't play the game, so not as many people bow out. No, you still have to show up in California and do the stupid flag football stuff. So some guys will bow out, but in the old days when they played the game, all the time. I remember one year Snoop Huntley was a Pro Bowl quarterback because everybody bowed out, and he was a fifth or sixth alternate or something. He got to play in the game, and if you do, then it counts. But if you don't, it doesn't count.
Bears fans think Nahshon Wright got snubbed, John.
What do you think? Interceptions. Nahshon Wright is perfect example. That's why they think he got snubbed.
John, we always talk about stats, and there is certain stats that I understand how the context gets lost. I don't really understand how the context gets lost here. They don't throw at Quinion Mitchell. He's not going to have as many interceptions as somebody that's getting targeted 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times a game. They don't throw to Quinion. How many targets does Quinion get a game on average? 3? 2?
Yeah, well, if you think that Nahshon Wright who's had a heck of a year, and it's certainly where it came from. He's third-round pick in Dallas. They traded him to Minnesota. He was on the practice squad there. Then he went to Chicago. So good story. But if you think Nahshon Wright's better corner than Quinion Mitchell, I can't help you.
Yeah.
But to your point about statistics, no. I mean, same thing with sacks. I mean, you get a bunch of interceptions, you're great. You get a bunch of sacks, you're great. It drives me insane. And Nahshon's having a very good year, but again, it's all relative.
How about Bond? You think Bond make it?
Yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah, I agree.
So consistent. But yeah, I mean, I am a little surprised.
John, pretty amazing. I know Bond deserves to make it from a play standpoint, but let's call a spade. A lot of this Pro Bowl stuff, I mean, it is reputational. There is a little bit of popularity going on. Isn't it pretty amazing how much Zach Bond has not only ascended to Philadelphia fans, but has ascended in the NFL eye, as a linebacker in just the last year and a half? I mean, it's pretty unbelievable to me.
Yeah, well, there's kind of two ways. When you play so well, you break through, because usually it takes some time.
Yeah,
like I said, if Jordan Davis plays this way next year, he might make the Pro Bowl. Takes some time to break through reputation-wise. But when you play to such a level, and last year he was, like I said, he was the Saquon Barkley of defense. Just making a play every day. Now, you don't have that 2,000 number, which people can latch on to so easily. But he was so dominant. Excuse me. He just broke through. And it's not just stats. It's about play on the field. And he was phenomenal. And this year, he's been just as consistent. Not quite as many splash plays, but really, really good player. So I've been talking about for a long time now.
He's amazing, no doubt about it. John, what do you think about, I guess I don't want to go negative here on a Christmas Eve, but what do you think of the fact that the Eagles offense has as much perceived talent? I'll go with Jalen Hurts and use perceived talent.
I said it before Jalen.
And
Perceived talent.
well, what do you think of none of them really making the Pro Bowl? I mean, you would think
none of them deserve it.
I agree. I thought maybe, I said this yesterday. I don't know if you agree with this, but I don't think any of them, AJ, Devontae, Goddard, maybe you can make an argument for. I don't think so, but Saquon, I don't think any of them really played like the Pro Bowl player this year. But I thought maybe like AJ would get deference as a player that has
Not
reputation.
This year.
Do you think his comments earlier in the year maybe hurt that? Because he kind of said sometimes it takes the national media a year to catch up. Or several weeks to catch up to what the local media knows and what the local fans know about a team. AJ kind of shined this big siren for everybody to say, hey, everybody, our offense sucks. And then they all tuned into it and realized that the Eagles offense sucks. I think he might have hurt his own chance at winning a Pro Bowl.
No shot. Look at them. Puka, JSN, George Pickens, Amon-Ra, St. Brown. Who's he making the Pro Bowl over?
Yeah, I think so.
It is such a deep year for the NFC. Justin Jefferson didn't make it. Talk about reputation.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. No, there's no way. Ironically though, and I said offensive tackle as well as the other reputation position. And it's just so deep with Penei Sewell, Tristan Wirfs, Trent Williams. Who's going to make it? And then to a certain degree, Landon Dickerson. It's ironic. Cam has the lowest reputation, but he's the guy who made it on reputation because center's weaker.
Yeah, right.
Than the other positions. If you were to rate the Eagles offense, which is still pretty good offense, by the way, Cam might be what are we talking about? So if you're using 11 personnel, and you're going to count 3 receivers, then it would be Jahan as the third receiver. And I apologize. It's good we have a hour show because my voice is not good today. But he might be the second worst player on offense this year.
Yeah.
And he made the Pro Bowl.
Who do you have as the worst?
Jahan was the starter. If you're doing 11 personnel.
Yeah, right.
So Jordan's better. Lane's better. Landon's still better. Tyler Steen, all right, maybe third worst.
And I mean, I get Jahan's behind him, but I don't think that's Jahan's doing. Not like he's had opportunities and hasn't made the most of them. He didn't get opportunities in this offense.
AJ, Devontae, Dallas, Saquon, Jalen. So third from the bottom. And he's the guy who made the Pro Bowl from the offense. There you have it.
Goofy. I'm with Vic, man. This thing's got to be revamped, but it does matter to these guys, man. It does matter. You got to get these guys, if you're going to have it matter, you got to figure out the right way to make the voting work. All right, John, good stuff. Good open here on the Pro Bowl. 5 Pro Bowlers for the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, some snubs in there and some people who made it, who probably shouldn't have made it, but that's all right. All right, so good for them. Congrats to all those 5 players and the alternates. Who did you say the Eagles alternates were? Lane and Jalen?
No, Lane wasn't even an alternate. Jalen Phillips was a second alternate. Saquon and Dallas Goedert were third alternates. Keely Ringo was a fourth alternate as a special teams player.
Okay, special teams. Okay.
And Jalen Hurts was a fifth alternate at quarterback. So that means there were the 3 who made it, plus 4 more before Jalen Hurts.
Why do they need 5 alternates?
Just how many people? Good question.
So they can say as many names as they can. They get as much publicity as they can. That's stupid. 5 alternates. But 5 alternates? It's like the deepest bench of all time. But I digress. All right, good stuff for the Eagles, the Pro Bowlers. Congrats to those guys. Johnny Mack, yesterday you had a full day at the NovaCare Complex. What is going on with this team? They got the Buffalo Bills coming to town. The injury updates is what the people are looking for. You know, you got Lane, you got Jalen Carter. I think Nakobe Dean, the questions are out there on Nakobe Dean. What do you know, John? What did you learn yesterday? You talked to the coordinators yesterday at the NovaCare Complex.
Yeah, and be honest as usual. So they are going to play their starters against Buffalo. No surprise, but obviously Nick's not going to say it. Called Nakobe iffy. So, you know, he was at practice, but just watching. Big compression sleeve on his left leg. So as he deals with that hamstring, I wouldn't expect to see him this week. Jalen Carter was back. Lane Johnson was not back, which surprised me a little bit. And who's the other one? Cam Latu was back, but there's somebody else. He was back practicing. Oh, Landon Dickerson was not practicing, but he was watching practice. So they've generally been trying to get Landon through to game day, so I wouldn't be too concerned with that. They had no injury report because they practiced on Tuesday. So for a Sunday game, you don't have to issue an injury report until Wednesday. That doesn't change even if you practice. The Eagles switched around this week because they're giving the players off for Christmas. So they practiced yesterday. They'll practice today. They'll practice Friday. But the first injury report will not come out until today after practice. Then they'll have an estimated one on Thursday and the normal status report on Friday. Thursday, obviously, they're not doing anything, so it's going to look probably the exact same as Wednesday. But that's just the mechanics of how they do it in the NFL.
Good stuff there, John. Let's see what happens this weekend. You talked to the coordinators yesterday, and I think Jalen Hurts spoke as well. I didn't get to hear Jalen yesterday. I was running around a little bit. But what did you take away from the coordinators yesterday, and if anything, from Jalen Hurts? I can't imagine you took much from there, but maybe you did. I don't know. You tell me, John. What'd you hear yesterday?
Well, as usual, you know, I think Vic is the headliner. He plays the big room, so to speak. Kevin goes later. I think Kevin is really interesting from a football wonk perspective. Jalen is back to being not giving you a lot. After opening up a little bit midway through the season, but you're not getting a lot from him at this stage, which is fine, but is what it is. With Vic, as he called Nakobe iffy, probably not going to happen this week. But Chad Campbell, it's a pretty good backup. So I don't think you get too concerned, other than Buffalo's a great, obviously, running team, and you have to worry about James Cook, but could be worse if you didn't have a backup like Jahad Campbell. So, and Lane probably the most interesting it goes forward, because the perception was that he was going to return this week, but he didn't practice on Tuesday. And Jalen Carter was back, so it looks like he'll be in the mix to play this weekend, barring any setbacks.
Good stuff there. Let's see what ends up happening with those guys this weekend. And it is a great game this weekend, so it's going to be interesting to see. John, I wanted to bring up Tyler Steen as well, the update on Tyler, just because I think a lot of fans are wondering, is he going to get suspended because he got tossed out of that game? It did come down, no suspension for Tyler Steen, which is a good thing, obviously. He'll be available to go. But what did you make of that, obviously, them not suspending Tyler? Whenever someone gets thrown out of a game, there is always a potential the NFL could add further discipline. They opted to not do that in the Tyler Steen brawl, which I think was the right move at the end. You can't.
Yeah, I mean, you never know with the NFL, but there were a couple swings, but who knows? He'll get fined, but I mean, I wouldn't complain about it if they suspended him one game. If they didn't, I don't. There's no real consistency with the NFL, so I don't worry too much about their goofy decision making.
Yeah.
But other than it's good to have a starting player, and he's not going to be suspended. He'll get fined, but and that'll come out Saturday, the actual fine. But yeah, who knows why they do what they do.
Did you see on another note, speaking of suspensions, good for Tyler Steen not getting suspended. Did you see the DK Metcalf stuff?
Yeah. Well, they're more concerned about stuff like that than.
Well, no, but I'm interested in just your thought. I mean, like, dude, you.
Well, the fans a scumbag, but
the fans a raging douchebag. But
but
brother,
if you're DK
and $5 million in contract guarantees voided. That's the most expensive push I've ever heard.
Well, I don't know if that's the case. Basically, when he gets suspended, you have the option of doing that. Now, I've also seen some reporting, and I'm not out there, that the Steelers have already assured him that everything's fine. We're moving forward together.
Right, because the Eagles had done that before, right? Where they kept the guarantees for somebody when they didn't have to.
Other teams have done it. I don't recall the Eagles doing it.
Okay, maybe
not. Jordan Addison was a big deal with Jordan Addison, who's gotten, I don't know, 3 DUIs so far. And but I don't even know if they took away his remaining guarantees. They just, when you see that stuff, you have the option to take it away if you want to.
Right.
From all indications here, Pittsburgh has already indicated to him that everything is fine from their side of it, and they don't want to move on. So I don't think it'll be an issue. But that's why you see those reports. When players get suspended, teams have the option. And I would be more, to use those two examples, I would be more, I would consider taking away somebody like Addison's guarantees, because he keeps making dumb personal mistakes, versus TK, who kind of lost his cool over a scumbag. Which you shouldn't do, but you gotta, and they've evidently had a history with that fan before, so he should be ready for it and used to it, and just stay away, just walk away, stay as far away as possible.
I just don't what is this fan doing? Like, do you have no life? How do you have multiple interactions with DK Metcalf, a superstar NFL wide receiver? Are you like, seeking him out? How do you have multiple interactions with a player? 99.9% of fans don't have an interaction with any player ever once in their life. This guy's got multiple with the same player? Yeah. Feels a little fishy to me.
Well, it's one of those guys. You hear about it all the time. I covered two guys, Brandon Wright, the trash talking. And it's all good natured with BG. I covered John Randall. John was famous for, getting the opposition media guide looking up things about players and, tweaking them. And that's player to player. And I think fans read stuff like that and they want to be involved, and, they want to tweak players. And yeah, but why they do it, I can't,
Well, to Fly Parks in the chat, who says he's seeking out a payday via lawsuit. I did see him posting on social media, hey, I'm the fan, I hired an attorney, and all this bullshit. So, Fly, maybe that's what ends up happening, but I hope it doesn't because you're acting like a total jerk off. I get it. DK is the one, heavy is the head that wears the crown. You're the one playing the game. You're the one making the money. You got to be the bigger guy. But I hate this culture.
And you're the one with something to lose.
Yeah, right. But I hate this culture we live in where people just,
oh yeah,
talk like there's no consequence. Like, dude, shut your ass up. I mean, what are you doing? But whatever. I did think DK's got to control himself there.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, there's no doubt from the player perspective. I get it. Some of these people say some things that are just off the reservation, but I mean, that's just part of it. It's always been that way. That's not new with this generation. I mean, they say some nasty shit, man. Some people, it's always a minority. But most fans just want to go have some fun and watch a football game. But others take it too far. It's always been that way. Always will be that way.
It's weird. I've never understood that. I've never understood that type of fandom. But whatever, it is what it is. A lot of people are going to be that way. I hope all of our Birds 365 listeners don't ever act that way because you're an idiot if you do. And if you do, you maybe don't watch this show, but I don't think any of you guys do. So that's a good thing. Those are few and far between. All right, good stuff. We got a super chat here. And then, John, I want to open it up. I want to go a little broad. We're going to talk still Buffalo and Eagles. We got about 20 minutes left to go. We'll go live today. But I do want to ask you about maybe where your thoughts are on some big picture, award type things in the NFL. Just have a little fun here on Christmas Eve. Here's Joshua. What's up, Joshua? Give KP credit. After 3 straight top 10 offenses, this was the first year both pass and run struggled. He made adjustments, and now the offense is flowing again.
Well, I think he's been better than people give him credit for. But